Good Monday morning, my beauties. I'm Lori. This is Bridget. This is Shelly. And we are ready to fuck some shit up today. I just feel like whatever is going to come through is just going to be so magical and so yummy. I love when I wake up really early before my alarm and I just get extra meditation time. I know that's going to be such a good, powerful day. We're here today, God's insight for the soul. We come together and we ask questions, we pull cards, and ultimately, you guys, we are just desiring to tap into what God has for us and be in communion with God, with each other, and with the insight that gets to inspire us and ignite us and guide us. And so, with all that, let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, girl. What you want today, Queen?
Queen is requesting just go.
Okay.
Whatever is coming to you.
Okay. Yeah. The first thing that comes up for me as I just sit quietly is stop trying so fucking hard.
Mm.
Stop trying so hard to get it right. Stop trying so hard to find what you think will bring you the peace. Stop trying so hard to be something different. Stop trying so hard to get approval from outside of you, even from you.
Mm.
Stop trying so hard. What if everything that you were in this moment was exactly what it was supposed to be? All of your funk, all of your kinks, all of your perceived mistakes, all of your perceived lack, all of the places that you think you're not where you should be. What if that is exactly where you should be?
Mm.
What if this, what you are on, hold please, January 26th at 7 or 9:07. What if this, whatever this is in this moment, with all of your lacking, is exactly what you are supposed to be lacking and be and experience on January 26th at now 9:07 or 9:08? What if the thing you're looking for is self acceptance
Hmm.
instead of something that you think you should be? What if the only thing that you are seeking, because what you're seeking is an internal experience, but we now collectively, we think and believe that it is when we get to, when we are, when we arrive, when we know, when in reality, that thing that we seek is simply and only self acceptance, which in that moment, we're in alignment with who God says we are in this moment, because you lack nothing. You've never lacked anything. It's always been a perception. And you can't change what is. You can't change destiny. You can change your free will of perception. Go ahead, Bridget.
Have you guys ever like watched a fire? So to start a fire, like if you're going to start a fire in the fireplace, you put in some papers and you have to put in the kindling, the really small stuff so that it ignites. And then once that starts burning, you can lay a larger piece on top of it and a larger piece on top of it, and it continues to go. And then you can actually, once it's really going, you can put on like an actual log and let that burn. And then as it burns and starts to kind of break apart, those coals get really deep, deep red. And there's these other white parts that you know are so freaking hot. If you were to touch that white part and it kind of flakes off to become ash. And there's a moment in that fire that the coals are so hot and there's no actual flame. It's almost like the coals are dormant. But if you take another small twig and place it on that dormant red coal, and then you just leave it. And sometimes it'll smoke, and sometimes you can tell, like, is it burning? Is the fire still going? And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, a flame like comes out of that red coal and those little twigs. And what I was getting as Lori was talking was, yeah, because I kept feeling like, okay, stop trying so hard, stop trying so hard. But my human wants to try. My human wants something to do. My human doesn't want to sit there dormant. And yet, Shelly, where you are in life, you have done like all of this work, all of this work, all of this work. And now that red coal, it might feel dormant in your human, but it is not. It is hot as mother effing hot, right? And without you even having to try, with you just living your life, that flame will ignite. Maybe it's simply somebody that you see on the street and a great big hi, how are you? That flame is lit. Maybe it's while you're driving in your car and you let somebody else in. That flame is lit. Like it doesn't even matter what it is you're trying to light or what that you want that fire to become. You being that coal in the presence of other people lights a flame. So good.
Oh, good. So good.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I say words? So I'm currently in Austin, Texas. And what brought me here was to walk on fire, to walk on coals. And we had an ice storm. And so we weren't able to walk on the coals physically. I felt it inside of myself. I felt those coals. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you, Shelly.
Yeah. Okay, Bridget. Let's see how this is going to magnify. What sweet little box would you like? Would you like? W, M, or L?
Um, the one closest to your left hand.
Ooh, the Shadow Queen.
Mm.
Acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. I have been embracing over the last few weeks, like hardcore embracing, like the difference between head knowledge and embodiment. I've been embracing that I am called to teach evolved conscious beings. The kind of evolved conscious beings that are calling for the tree of life as opposed to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The knowledge of good and evil, even at a lot of people's most spiritually heightened experience, still eating off the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life is where two opposite truths can be true simultaneously. Everything is allowed. And I used to not want to talk about that because then somebody would always be able to say, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, because I'm saying, here's these two truths, right? And somebody would always say, no, you're wrong. And the gift in truly owning that this is who I came to the planet to serve gives permission and freedom to those on this path to live in the everything is the opposite of what it appears to be and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be, and to live in the fullness of where most people can't live. So those that came to live in the paradox are often rejected, are often thought of as weird, are often confused because they feel the duality and they're seeking the oneness from the perspective of not oneness in ourselves, but oneness in the tree of life, that everything is allowed. And how does this play out back into what we were talking about with Shelly? Is how do we even allow our lack and not think that it's bad and wrong and lacking? And so as I was reading this, the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge being different, we think knowledge is in our head. And it is, but the knowledge that you're being invited into is experiential embodiment. No one can ever convince you of something different. Experiential knowing, which then allows for your, let me make sure I get the word, insecurity to be the gift. The more insecure your human is, the more you get to tap into your divine God self as you. And the more you are capable of manipulating without the negative connotations. Look, guys, I just manipulated my glasses. Look, guys, I just manipulated these cards. Look, guys. Yet, if you came to the planet to be, if you came to the planet to experience your identity as creator, then manipulation is your constant expression of the solidity of God as you. And so then the tree of life is blooming, reproducing at a massively rapid rate because you're just being the vessel. God as you is making manifest. And if we go back to in the beginning, God created, or in the beginning, blah, blah, blah. And then God said, let there be light. And there was light. I just be, and shit happens. And so recognizing again the power of the ember, the power of the dormant coal, like to the physical world, this is nothing. It's the end of the fire. Yet if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be, and everything's in constant change, and God is the Alpha and the Omega, and as God functions from Omega, because you can't have a beginning unless you already know the end, otherwise there would be no destiny. So as we focus on the end being the absoluteness, the of courseness, then the journey becomes electric, because now I just be in at any moment of time, and that is the surprise and delight that we actually crave. Yet we find it from the of courseness, which then allows dormancy to be just as magnificent as the because it's inevitable, is inevitable. So the rest in the dormancy is, yeah, I'm not waiting. I'm just here. I'm just doing the thing called dormant, because can happen at any time, and I'm not in control of that. I don't need to control that. I get to rest. I don't have to try that hard. I don't have to make things manifest. I am creation itself. It's right around the corner. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Now I'm not waiting for something to happen. I'm being dormant while is preparing itself. Okay.
Thank you. You are not kidding. Today is
I have chills. Literally, I have chills all on my body.
So good.
So good. Yes,
Right.
thank you, Lori.
Yes. All right, Shelly, you want to draw my deck?
Sure do.
All right. Would you like my card to be drawn from this one, that
Yeah,
one, or
this,
the other one?
this
This
one.
one? Wait, wait till you see what card we pulled, you guys. And we collectively, because it's for all of us, right? You're already doing it. Oh, let me show you the picture. Okay, it says, stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north.
Okay. Yeah, Lori, I feel like you talk about the tree of life, and how I'm experiencing it right now is a lavish river flowing, and I just feel like I'm like, if I were in your head, I just flow through your entire body, and it flows through the river, and it flows into the trees, and it flows into the mountain, and then it flows back into you and all up, and it goes again like through your feet and all up into your body and out your head and out your mouth. And that is the creation. Our creator created everything: birds, trees, mountains, soil, you, me, everything. And you are so in one with that creation. It just flows so fluidly and so easily. And you're already doing it. You don't even need to try. You simply be, and that river of life flows freely. It touches everything. It it's almost very much the feeling that I was getting was that you are part of that river of life that flows easily. Yeah. And then it springs forth life onto other people by spewing it out into the world through words.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I received that. And here's the invitation. If you're listening to this, you too, right? You too, right? That card was not just for Lori. It was for everyone who hears this word. Otherwise, it would not have shown up in collective space, right? So if you do not feel like that river of life is flowing as you, well, then step out of your own understanding of who you are and come into agreement with who God says you are. Because God just told you who you were. Yes, Bridget told me based on that card. However, if you are hearing this, just like we talk about, nothing is wasted. Every word that is said here is for you. And I'm just the space holder for God to give words to Bridget, because we're created for relationship. Sorry, I have a mean itch in my back. we're created for relationship. We're created to do life together. And so, of course, there has to be a me, and there has to be a Bridget, and there has to be a Shelly that evoked the initial energy, that then evoked the next card, that then evoked this card, right? This is how life flows together, and how we don't know the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning, because that's God. And we can't know when we actually lack, or if it's a moment of time that is just less than this, because if it wasn't less than this, then whoosh, wouldn't ever happen to give us the experience of whoosh. But if we're seeking the experience of whoosh, because this is less than, then we're eating off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This good, this evil, this. Now, again, you guys, when we, oh my gosh, what the, when we get, again, and I've said this lots of times, evil in that verse actually means lack of value. It doesn't mean evil, bad, like we think it does. It means lack of value. So if I'm eating off the tree of the knowledge of valuable and invaluable, I'm in dis-ease. The tree of life is valuable, valuable, dormant, valuable, valuable, not more valuable than dormant. Because in order for to be experienced, dormant must be experienced. But if I'm always looking for then I never find the value of dormant, and then never exists, because I'm never in the moment of experiencing dormant in order for to be experienced. So good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
So good.
I just want to lick the shit out of that. Oh. God. In our Facebook, our private Facebook group for members of Empowered Abundance Coaching, our banner says, take a deep breath and remember who the fuck you are. That is what I feel being called out right now. Who you think you are. If who you think you are does not bring you this, it is well with my soul, then that's not who you are. Who you are is who God says you are. And when you're in alignment with that, it will always be well with your soul, whether you are in the midst of dormant or the midst of amen.
Yes.
Bridget, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, I appreciate that. Uh, the value, the words you said that reminded me of the value of the dormancy. I appreciate that. And if you are watching this, like, this is one of the things that I love about doing like the space that is available for all of us. I am so full. Like, my cup is like filled up this morning. So if you're watching this, if there's no accident that you found this, like, come join us, because just the community, just this space is an opportunity to be filled. And if you're finding this and if you're watching this, then there's something in you that is saying, I want some of that. I want some of that. So give it to yourself.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Mm. All right. Well, in the description, we do have the link to schedule to come on, just like Shelly, and get your own insight. And yeah, until next time.
yes.